Hi y'all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, now I've got to turn around and go back. So I forgot to delete the old files on my recording hard drive, and so I recorded for about a minute and a half, it looks like, and then ran out of storage space. There we go. I couldn't remember how to switch back and forth. So I saw a new zombie back here. It was pretty weird. I was gonna stay and fight him. I put down a bedroll, but there's a dog right next to him, so I can't deal with both. Oh no, did my new zombie leave me? Oh, I'm so disappointed. So he was big, and he was like covered in blisters, and he was like, looked like he was about to burst, and he vomited up glowing green stuff. It's pretty crazy. But there's also a dog. I don't know why it left and didn't come back, but oh, now there's a snake. I can't hit the snake. Dude, you see that snake? Oh, I think I hit the snake. There we go. Okay. Did you hear that? I just heard there's a trader's I just marked over that way. I just heard its buzzer go off. So yeah, so I was mid-story when I realized I wasn't recording. So basically, I was talking about Halo, and then I got off on a tangent because I heard something weird. I heard something really weird, and it's such a weird thing. So basically, let's start the story like this. A long time ago, I used to get PC Gamer. It is a magazine about PC games, obviously, and hardware. And I still go to their website occasionally, but I stopped getting the magazine because they stopped putting. There's no reason for there to be game demos in it, and but that was why I used to get it, was so I could get the game demos. It came with a disc every month with a small handful of game demos, and then yeah, I mean, companies have basically stopped doing game demos, right? So you still see them occasionally, but not like you used to. Game demos used to be a really big thing. Like, you could buy game demo at the store for like $6 or something, right? And then try like the first 2 or 3 levels of something to decide whether or not you wanted to get the whole game, kind of thing. I mean, like, they do that now, right? But it's not the same. You don't go to the store. You go to the app store, right? Something like that. Occasionally, I'll see a demo on Steam. But anyways, not that this really has a whole lot to do with Halo, but Halo did spawn this story. Okay, I'm going to put down a new bedroll because this is a totally different section of town. I should have just picked up my bedroll, brought it with me. So the Halo thing was because PC Gamer, with its demos, had a demo for a version of Halo that never got made. And did this game reset my settings? Why am I hearing music? Maybe I've got my headset turned up louder than I normally play with, but I can swear I was hearing music in there, so... Anyways, I'm never going to get this story done if I don't get us going on it here. So basically, that's what I wanted to talk about was the Halo demo a little bit in regards to the Halo series. So I heard this weird thing the other day, and I'm just like, what? That's a crazy conspiracy that's obviously not real. I mean, it might be partially... No, it's not real. It was this weird political thing that had to do... Oh, look, there's a bear and a cop coming toward me. Look, I just wanted to check out the working stiff for a hot second. See if there's anything good in here. Oh, geez. I don't know what that was. It's too dark in here to see what it was, and it came running at me, and then I was just dead. So... I need to go to the book place, probably. Which is just next door here. Oh, right. Toward one of the police officers. Why are there so many police officers here? Look at, you're also covered in blisters, man. I do like the new design on the crawlers, or the spiders. I think this is a spider. Oh, dang it. Ugh. Nobody got time to be dealing with no vultures, alright? Oh, there's so many guys here. So, this was the conspiracy, alright? So, let me go with my reality of what happened, and then go with what I heard, alright? So, a long time ago, wasn't that long ago, but a long time ago, there were two types of storage media that were in a bit of a war against each other. And strangely enough, it happened once before with the same people. A really long time ago, before I had anything to do with anything, I was a tiny, tiny child, and probably even before I was born, there was VHS and Betamax, right? And so Betamax was Sony, I believe, and I want to say the other was Toshiba, which was VHS. So in the war for media format, Betamax, which was considered the superior media, as I've read, I have no idea. I've never seen a Betamax anything. But VHS won. I think it must have been cheaper to make or something. I don't know. And so that's why we had VCR tapes, VHS tapes, instead of Betamax tapes. That was it. That was a big war. That was a big media war. It took place way back in the 70s. And then, listen, guys, I'm just a little guy. There's just too much. Tried to jump on my head, and it killed me. So then, years later, there was the CD, right, compact disc, and then after the compact disc were two media formats, HD-DVD and Blu-ray. All right. Now, obviously, we know Blu-ray won between those two, and so. Everybody appears to have chased me. I can now go into the Crackabooks, maybe? And so, during the Blu-ray... It's so dark in here. I'm going to get my motorcycle. You'd think at 7 in the morning it would be a little brighter here, but it is a dim place. Go away, Vulture. I'm trying to do something. I just want a little... Great. I'm going to bleed to death because you, Vulture. Get out of here. Alright, now, that seems to have helped a little bit. Okay. Not a lot, though. It's still pretty dark in here. I can't see if the shelves have... Don't look like the shelves really have much of anything on them in this place. Wait, I've got a recipe for the iron knuckles and I'm running around with these dang leather gauntlets? I'm going home. I'm going home to get iron knuckles made. That's crazy. I didn't know I had that, but I do need to I do need to come back to this place. Crack. Or books. I just call this books, right? Books. Alright, which way is home? Home is so far away. Oh no. Home is so far away, I don't know. Home is northwest. Northwest. Bye guys, I'm coming back with a better weapon. It's just a little too tough here with these leather fists. So there's a big war, and Sony releases Blu-ray, and Toshiba releases HD-DVD. Now the trick is that Blu-ray could hold more, and in my opinion, that's it. That's the deciding factor right there. I don't know what all the other hubbub is about, the fake conspiracy I heard, but that's it. And so I just remember that because Sony owned Blu-ray, the PlayStation 3s and the PlayStation 3s, I think, got Blu-ray, and the Xboxes, which were brand new, got HD-DVD. Which to me was a big detriment to the gaming world because there were several games that got chopped down because in order to fit the HD DVD and Microsoft's, you can't have your games on more than one disc for some companies. I'm looking at Final Fantasy 10, I think. Was it 10 or was it 13? I don't know. One of those Final Fantasy games got chopped down because they weren't allowed to put it on multiple discs because the HD DVD could not hold as much as the Blu-ray. And when they initially made it, it was going to be on Blu-ray only. And then they changed that, and so when they put it on the Xbox, they had to chop a whole section out of the game, which offends me a little bit. But whatever. I mean, it was years ago. Get over it, right? And so, is this the way to the road? Yeah, because I totally did not go back to the road. So, to me, that's it. That's the whole story I have for Blu-ray and HD DVD. I'm watching this thing the other day, and they're talking about conspiracies, and this dude tried to say that Blu-ray was evil because the only reason it beat out the superior HD DVD was because of the content the HD DVD refused to put on their discs. And I'm like, what kind of nonsense are you talking about? That is not how anything works. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Anyways, back to my Halo. I watched the 5th episode of Halo today, and it's, hey, look, sunshine. uh, and it was pretty good. It oh, that was me. That was one of my starts when I was trying to save my old game. And so I just Halo was an interesting thing as well. Well, there we go. In that I heard somebody talk about Halo the other day, and the story they told was way different than my personal experience with where Halo came from. And so I thought it was interesting because he was talking about how Halo was supposed to be this. Oh, you know what? My base is actually way down there. I was thinking it was this place, but it's not. It doesn't matter. I would have taken the road anyways. And so he's talking about how Halo was supposed to be this great shooter on the Mac. I'm like, okay, if you say so. I mean, he may have known the dude works in the gaming industry, so I don't know. But that's not where I heard about it from. I heard about it from PC Gamer, and I followed it quite closely in PC Gamer because before that was Half-Life, right? Half-Life was the game, and so everything that was coming out at the time was the Half-Life killer, right? Every first-person shooter was pretending to be the Half-Life killer, and so Halo was touted to be the Half-Life killer when it was first introduced, and so eventually on my PC Gamer subscription with the discs, I got a demo of Halo. And it's pretty sweet. You were on board a ship, and you were a Marine, and the ship gets shot down by the Covenant. I don't remember if they were called the Covenant, but I think so. And they jettison your group down to the planet before the ship gets destroyed. And then the ship crashes, and so there's like these giant crash spaceships, and then you're running around grabbing weapons because you know, you don't have any of your gear when you start because the whole thing got messed up. And if I remember correctly, you could switch between weapons, like you know how some shooters allow you to carry lots of different weapon types, and then other shooters are like you get two, and so then you know you ran around fighting the aliens, trying to figure out what was going on a planet that you weren't sure where you were at, and driving vehicles and stuff for the demo that came in the PC Gamer, and that was before Microsoft announced the Xbox. And so it was shortly after that, though, that they did announce the Xbox was coming, and then they announced that they had picked up Halo, and then Halo stopped being in my PC Gamer because it was going to be an Xbox exclusive, and on top of that, it wouldn't fit on the Xbox hardware, so they stripped it down into what it became, and yeah, so I'm not completely familiar with the Halo storyline because I never owned an Xbox. I was a Final Fantasy person, and Final Fantasy was always on Sony, and so I was always buying a PlayStation. I mean, it started on the Nintendo, so I was always buying the Nintendo. That's not true. I bought a Nintendo, and then I think I bought a second Nintendo because basically my parents stole my first Nintendo, and then I'm pretty sure I bought a GameCube. I skipped the SNES. I didn't do the, and then when the 64 came out, I bought the PlayStation because Final Fantasy was going to be on the PlayStation and not the N64. So yeah, so I do purchase my console based off of specific video games apparently, but yeah, So I never got an Xbox. I never played the Halo stuff really. I played a little bit with the guy from college. We played some online multiplayer stuff in one of the Halos. I don't remember which one, but it was like a couch co-op kind of multiplayer. It was split screen, but you could play online together against other people on the same console. So, um, whatever game that was, we did that for, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't constant. It was like a few times one year. He would just come over on a day when he had a day off, and we would play Halo all afternoon, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, I've read the story to the games a little bit. I couldn't tell you exactly how it goes, but that's about as familiar as I am with Halo. So I did watch Forward Unto Dawn, which I thought was amazing. Um, I think Forward Unto Dawn was better than the new Halo series. But I do like the new Halo series. It's not fantastic. Parts of it are pretty good. There was a scene in the episode today well, it wasn't today's episode, but there was a scene I watched today where the Covenant attacked, and that was pretty good. But most of it is walking around talking, and it's going pretty slowly. I'm kind of surprised at how slow the story is, which is weird because I like story, but I feel like they could pick this up a little bit. It's pleasantly not as disjointed as most modern media feels to me, and so they do have continuous storyline, like continuity going from episode to episode, which I way prefer my media to have in it. And yeah, it's I don't know. I wish like we're 5 episodes in and we're still trying to figure out how the Master Chief has a connection to these alien artifacts. 5 episodes, five. I think they're hour long, something like that. Episodes. They're not hour, but 40-minute episodes, whatever they are. And we still. I mean, we just got a second artifact, and I'm just like, okay, good for you, but how does that help me? Uh, like, why did it take so long to get to this point? I don't understand. Uh, like the first episode. I guess spoilers. I didn't say spoilers. Spoilers. In the first, was it the first episode? They land on this planet, right? And they pick up an artifact. There's a lot that goes on before they get the artifact, but he gets an artifact. And hey, there's my home. I can see it. He gets an artifact, and then he picks up this girl, who's the only survivor of her town after the Covenant attack, and then he he basically steals her and the artifact and a ship and flies away, and then turns around and comes back. I'm like, okay, so we had like a half an episode, a whole episode of you running away and then going to talk to this guy. I think that was episode 2. Um, he goes and he talks to this guy, and he leaves the girl, and then he comes back. All right, what do I have for these iron knuckles? Knuck. I need 18 forged iron, 6 mechanical parts, and 3 duct tape. I have got 9. That's forged steel. I have got 10 forged iron. I've got 4 leather and 8 duct tape. All right. So I need 8 more. Oh, I forgot my mechanical parts. Do I have no mechanical parts? I have 8 mechanical parts. Yes, okay. So basically I need 5 more forged iron. I apparently have that. So awesome. So, okay. Do I have any mods on these? No. Alright. Weapons. Listen, guy, you were awesome, but I'm gonna make better weapon here. So, yeah, I feel like at least the first 3 episodes could have condensed down very, very far from where they were at. Especially given today's, I say today's, especially given the climate of television and how quickly they cancel things. Um, you'd think that you'd want to get as much story as you could so that if you only got like a season, you'd still be okay. I know they're like, we have tons of future content planned for our multi-season, series, but are you gonna get it? I don't know. We'll see. I think they've done three episodes. I don't know. So I don't know about Halo, right? I just know the series, and I know a little bit about what I read of the Halo storyline from the games a while ago, years ago. And so the one character, Halsey, has a daughter in the show, and they clearly don't have a good relationship, and her mother basically ignores her. And she has been trying to get her mother's attention now for 3 episodes. And I'm just like, why is this a thing? I don't get it. There's not enough contention between them to make it worth being such a central part of this. It's not a central part of the storyline to be this side storyline that they've got going. Like, cause she's nobody, right? I mean, she. No, let me take that back. She's not nobody, but the show hasn't shown that she's somebody. They tell you that she's somebody. And so I think it would be better if like they had made her and her mother like competing, oh competing science groups or something. Uh but they're not. They have nothing to do with each other. And so she's constantly her, like, they got the one general is supposed to be her father, and so she's always like, Mom won't pay attention to me, and he's like, well, you do good, honey. Mom won't pay attention to me. I'm like, ugh, just. I did enjoy the part where she was deciphering languages, and so I thought that could be like, they have seeds in this show that would be really good. Like, the mother is like looking at these alien artifacts from a completely scientific point of view, and ignoring anything outside of the readings that the artifacts give off, right? And so the daughter, on the other hand, is like studying the Covenant language and stuff. And so they could have a pretty good, like, contentious science butting of heads between the two if it was like, you're never going to find what you're looking for if you don't, follow the I want to call them progenitors. I don't remember what the alien group that created all this stuff was actually called, that the Covenant and the humans are fighting over. Um, let's go with progenitors, though, because that's pretty standard sci-fi. Uh, and so, like, she's learning how to decode the language that's on it and the little bits that she's been allowed to look at. And so, I think it would be a better story if she just wasn't always there, being like, here's a suggestion, Mom, and then she just gets completely ignored. Like on the episode today, they were at a new artifact, and then one guy was like, I could cut into it, and Halsey was like, good, get it cut out and then get it on the ship. And then the daughter comes walking in because her dad told her to, do something. He didn't give her an order or anything. He didn't give her a plan. He just said, oh, you should, make yourself useful, kind of thing. And so she's like, what if this casing doesn't look natural to me? What if this casing does something else? And that was it. That was the end of that whole scene. They ignored her, and everybody just went about their business. And I'm just like, okay, she didn't even acknowledge the statement from her daughter. So the fact that they probably should have studied the casing around the artifact before they released the artifact could have been some good storyline, but they didn't go anywhere with it. So yeah, I find her whole character to be weird, because she's clearly so far just wants her mother's attention, but her mother is like absolutely science brain who doesn't pay attention to anything except her science almost, and so just like, look at me, and I'm just like, I wish she was like, I don't know, so competent that her mother couldn't ignore her or make herself integral to the research, or like maybe maybe she should be fighting against her mother politically, to get some oversight over her mother's project since her mother's doing all this illegal stuff, or just something to cause a contention between them other than, look at me, Mom, look at me. So yeah. Or like, alright, they got this other one. So they got this thing, I don't know anything about Halo, like I've said multiple times now. But they had, the Master Chief, John, cut a capsule thing out of his back that was a hormone blocker, or maybe it gave him hormones, I don't know. But basically it dampened his emotions to make him a Spartan soldier. Apparently this whole Spartan thing is an illegal experiment by Dr. Halsey anyways. And so there's only a handful of Spartans, even though when the show started, this dude told this story about the Spartans like they were this, saviors or monsters of the universe. And then there's like 8 of them, and they're illegal, and the whole program got shut down because it didn't work the way they thought it was going to. And I'm just like, well, then why did you tell that story before? Like, if they're not if they're not the big bad of the Federation, I have no idea what the government in this show is called. Is it a Federation? Let's call it a Federation. The Empire? I don't know. I don't know what kind of government they have in this particular show. But, yeah, and I'm just like, okay, so there's a handful of them, and that's it. And there hasn't been any before or after, or you don't have, like, a whole battalion of them. I don't understand why this guy's telling this story like this. The Spartans are everywhere and doing all this stuff, because they're not. You're conflating the Spartans with the Marines, which are two different groups. And that's a weird way to start this show. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know why they don't have the. So one of the Spartans. I forgot where I was at in my story. One of the other Spartans saw him removing his emotion dampener thing. He needs his emotions to interact with the alien. Oh, you know what? I saw this trail here. I thought I might check this way, see what's down here. To interact with the alien artifact. And so one of the other Spartans saw him do it. And so then she removed her chip. And so now she's got emotions. And so it's an interesting storyline, and they kind of hinted around with her working with Halsey's daughter. Like they've had some conversations and stuff. And so, I mean, again, you know, this could be a thing where she's like, I can't believe my mother is, you know, keeping these soldiers' emotions dampened, trying to make her super soldier or whatever she's trying to do. I have no idea. Because they've also indicated that she kidnapped the children who are members of the Spartan program and had their entire colony killed. So, yeah, Halsey is definitely not a good person. At least not so far. And so there's a lot of contentious things that could be happening between her and her daughter if they're going to keep having this Halsey and her daughter who orbits around her going, look at me, look at me. But yeah, they definitely have not done any kind of real storyline between them other than every time she comes up to speak to her mother basically ignores her. Not like, don't talk to me, but like, oh, that's nice, dear. You need to go back and, you know, work on your own thing away from me because I'm busy right now, kind of thing. And, man, I was hoping this would take me to a nice place, not back into this. This has not been a great map so far. Wait, I just saw a whole section. Do I need to be cutting across the... Where was that section? This. How do I get here? Oh, that's where I'm from. Never mind. I got really excited by that, and then it's not even real. Where's this other spot? Oh yeah, this is where I need to go. I need to go over here, because this is a nicer area. So really I need to go back and around. Alright, I'm going to keep going this way. So yeah, I'm enjoying the show so far, though. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it's an alright, low story, I don't know, mid-quality story, space soldier story, I guess. Listen, the fights against the Covenant look awesome. And I've played enough of the game now to recognize the creatures when they're fighting and some of the weapons they're using. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's cool. That's that looks cool. That looks like what I'd expect. Yeah. Anyways, with that, I'm gonna call it a day. Be better in the small things. Lean into the light. I will talk to you later.